Hey gang, get back from work and a new patch is waiting for me. It's the best kind of way to start a day. It's just kind of like when you're at a restaurant and you go to the bathroom and you get back, like they said in Pulp Fiction. Anyway, and your food's waiting for you. I guess I should finish that sentence. Anyway, 4.4 is dropped. Before I get into all the special things that are coming with 4.4, which of course drops the day before IAE, so as one of our illustrious Carnival members stated, this is an especially big patch to drop, especially right before IAE and a free fly, so they are probably sweating this one pretty hard. So let's keep our fingers crossed it's a smooth launch. Anyways, one of the things, this is one of the reasons why I shouldn't do unscripted vids like I'm doing right now. In the last one, the whole point that I had on that video that I totally didn't put in the video was that during IAE, all the ships are rentable. So as you're walking around the floor and you're looking at these cool ships and they're dropping new concepts and all this, my one piece of advice would be don't give in to FOMO. Don't melt your other ships or CCU or upgrade to the new sexy ship until you've test flown it, which you can do for free. If you walk up to the ships on the show floor and F click on them, if you hold down F, the ship will glow and you can click on it. You can actually rent the ship for free, go and fly it around a little bit. I cannot encourage you to do that enough. I have certainly gotten hit with the FOMO bug, seen a new ship and been like, oh man, that's so awesome. I melt like another ship that's right in its same proximity and tactics, then fly the new thing around. I'm like, damn it, I should not have done that. Now there is a buyback token, but that's a whole other conversation. So I just wanted to put that out there with a very few exceptions, which I'm going to get into in a minute here. The advantage of IAE is that every ship that you see is available on the last day of the expo. So don't give in to the FOMO thing, see the sale drop and be like, oh my God, I have to buy this right now. You don't. You can buy it on the last day. Now let's get into what 4.4 is, what's going to be in it, obviously Nyx. And then I'm going to get into IAE, a little bit on the roadmap roundup. I'm not going to get into that one as much as I usually do. And then we're going to kind of do the Q&A on the Perseus. So come along on a little journey. So 4.4 dropped. Obviously, this is a big deal. This is Nyx, and we've been waiting on Levki to come back into the verse since, I believe, 2018 or 19, I think it dropped out in 2018, but it's been a long ways, but they've updated it. It looks great. Still looks the same, more or less. Just a little bit cleaner and a little bit more modern as far as like the tech that goes into it. Obviously, this outdoor section is new. If you remember what that area looked like, this was all, I think, like a big landing pad, or it was I think it was a driveway. It was like a long driveway that went all the way through Levki, and there was buildings around the outside that you couldn't really interact with. Now they've kind of made this gap, and this is all 0G. I did fall through Levki, or through Nyx when that, or not Nyx, Delamar is the name of the asteroid. I fell through Delamar trying to fly from this platform over here to this platform over here. And so just be wary. Not everything will be working on this first go out the door. Usually my rule is a new patch drops, wait until the weekend before you play it, or wait until the weekend's over, which would be next Monday. In this case, I kind of have to make an exception because it's IAE and you have to walk around IAE in order to rent those ships. Anyway, let's keep going. So place worth protecting. Again, Levki and Nyx is an independent. It's an independent system. So unlike Pyro, which is a lawless system sort of run by pirates, Nyx is run by an independent civilization or civilian kind of group. And so they kind of have a vested interest in making it more lawful than Pyro is. So this is kind of our first independent system, even though Stanton is mildly independent since it's run by the corporations, but still under the IAE. Nyx is not. Anyway, let's keep going. So obviously Levski locales. I'm not going to give away too much on this because if you've never seen Levski when it was in the first time, it's really cool. Just walk around it, get lost, check it out. It's neat. So let's see what they're doing. Twitch drops, obviously, always cool. And now we're getting the ships. Now, this is something that I saw this on leaks, which I try to avoid the leaks, but in this case, look at this Darth Vader looking thing. Look at that. Look at that cape. That looks like it's right out of like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know that we got some people from it. Of course they do. The Intrepid. I don't think this guy would be caught dead in an Intrepid, but an Intrepid is a fun ship to fly. Anyway, you can get those guys for, man, and then I did that and I didn't even look at the price tag. How is that for a bad content career? Let's go down there and check it out. So it's $20 for the medium, $22 for the heavy, and then Twitch drops. You just need to tune in for, I believe it's 4 hours worth of their Twitch shows, and you get the light, provided you have linked up your Twitch account to them so they know that you're one of the people that are linking on it. Again, these will only be available in the patch. So if you really like those armors and you want to give money to the game, that's a way to do it. Don't ever feel obligated to buy these things. This type of armor will be in there, but it won't necessarily be that blinged out. My God. Anyway, that's it for 4.4. Surprisingly, they don't have the Perseus on here. I was thinking they would drop the Perseus with 4.4 just because they have so many ships that are rumored to be dropping, and they usually only drop 3. That means there's a lot of ships that are kind of left out in the wind here. It'll be interesting if we get all of them, and it certainly seems like we're going to. And they're not dropping any with the patch, so yeah, let's push on. IAE. So what I was saying before is, with a couple exceptions, on the last day of IAE, this finale here on November 30th to December 3rd, you can buy all the ships that they're going to show off here, with a couple exceptions that I'm going to get into in just a second. So all of the new ships, all the new concept ships they're doing, the Perseus, the Clipper, the MTC with the little, well, I won't do too many spoilers. There's in the Wolf, Alpha Wolf, all of those things, they're going to be available on the final day. And those things, the concept ships, with the exception of the Perseus, because it's already had its concept phase, those will probably be for sale clear through December, like through mid-December. So no real rush on those. The only thing that would kind of be a rush for this date would be as if you're looking for a ship that isn't typically available in the store, that will be available on IAE, because on IAE, every single ship is available. And again, for each of these manufacturers, every single ship will be available on the finale, even if it's not available on the individual days. Like if you're in on Anvil Aerospace Day, you're not going to be able to buy the Origin ships. They only have the Origin ships there, but on the finale, they have both. So I think I beat that one into the ground. Let's keep going. So again, you got to be on Orison. So you got to be on Crusader in order to see this thing. If you're in Nyx, just fly through the wormhole. There is a wormhole directly from Nyx to Stanton. That's not going to be a long-term thing, but that is a thing for the foreseeable future while we're limited to 3 systems. Okay, all of this stuff, here we go. How do I rent a ship? Basically just what I was saying. You just go up to it, click it, and you can rent it. And again, you'll be able to rent any ship that is up there. So you can test fly something, and I strongly recommend that. Let's go on down, because the important thing is this right here. Is there anything else that's new this IAE? Yes, IAE 2955 is your final opportunity to pledge for certain ships at their current pricing. Sometime after the event, these ships will receive a price adjustment to reflect recent and upcoming development updates. So if you want any of these ships, best to pledge for them now, or at least get like a cheap CCU or a cheap upgrade from one ship to these ships, which is another thing that IAE is great for, is you can just buy really cheap upgrades from a ship that's easy to get to one of the ships that's very rare. Anyway, the hull A, the hull B, which we should be getting sometime this year, the raft, which is already out, which is interesting. That one's going up in price. I'd be curious to find out why. And the rail-in, which we also should be getting at some point next year. The rail-in, according to one of their notes, doubled its cargo capacity. This thing's about the size of a Starfarer Xi'an ship. Very, very cool looking. But going up in price. So if you have your heart set on a rail-in, at least buy an upgrade during IAE. Again, I would say wait until the last day. Let's see where there'll be warbond daily deals available. Yes, check back each day throughout the event to see what's available. Each warbond daily deal will run for 24 hours only. This year's finale will include a refresh with new warbond deals that will feature only at this time for select manufacturers, and a few select offers from prior days may return. So yeah, the warbond offers is new money, so they typically offer an existing ship for a discounted price. Sometimes you can get an upgrade for that ship with new money to something else. So that's sort of where info runners will build those really cool chains where you can go from an Intrepid to an Idris by paying $45 or something disgusting like that. That's how they do it, is they get these really cheap one-time upgrades and they're able to do it that way. So definitely watch the info runners for that. But let's go on in here. So starting on November 20th, the RSI, these are the ships that you won't be able to get at any other time. And these are limited sales, which means, let's see, each stock limited ship is limited one per account and will be available in 6 waves to cover as many global time zones as possible. This is awful, and CIG has done this for years. This is basically, you're trying to get an F5 war and win against bots who can do it 500 times a second. You're almost never going to win these things. I mean, every year a couple people do, but it's almost always going to be bots run by resellers, and then they'll sell the ship for thousands of dollars more than it's worth. Anyway, at one point, all of these ships that I'm about to do here, eventually you'll be able to buy in game, or you will be able to build yourself. That said, if you have ever wanted one of these ships and it's like the only ship you've ever wanted, this is how you get it. So on the 20th, the Constellation Phoenix goes for sale. Again, it's going to be a limited sale. So there's going to be like 1,000 that go up. The bots will go in and buy like 980 of them. And then the rest of the community who actually plays the game is going to be fighting over the next 20. So log in at like 1550 and just sit on that page and just start clicking F5 and sell and click and buy and buy and buy. I don't recommend that. But again, if one of these ships is the one that you really, 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 really want, that's the only way you can get it right now, which is unfortunate. 890 jump is on the 21st. Drake Kraken, Drake Privateer, I am guessing that is going to be a spendy day, is the 22nd. We're apparently going to be getting these maybe next year for IAE. They are working on these right now. On the 24th, so nothing on the 23rd, we get the whole E. On the 26th, we get the Pioneer, which again, they're working on right now. So at some point in the relatively near future, next couple years, Pioneer will be dropping. And then on the 28th, the Idris P and the Javelin. So Yeah, if you got, I think the Javelin's going for like $3,000 or something disgusting like that now. So yeah, the only time you can get those. Again, my recommendation for these ships is either wait until we can build them ourselves or they're available to purchase in game, or find an org that has more money than sense. That said, join the Carnival because we definitely fall into that category. Anyway, that's IAE. Those are the big things I want to pop up there. Roadmap roundup, let's come on down here. So 4.4 has been set to released. Maxox Neutron Cannon Art Refactor will be in a future update. So they bounced that. 4.5 is in now. Engineering, introducing dedicated engineering roles aboard ships, allowing players to actively manage power distribution, repairs, and system efficiency in real time. This is huge because in the Carnival and other people that I was talking to that were testing this, we were thinking this was probably 6 months out. It's 4.5. It is the next patch. So CIG is feeling relatively confident about this one. They say tentative, but they usually don't put it on there unless they're about 90% sure that's going to make it. Fire hazards. So fire hazards, of course, is coming with engineering because the main downside of not engaging in engineering is that stuff will catch on fire. Physical helmets, implementing physical helmets in the persistent universe. Pick up, rotate, inspect every detail, carry around, attach it to your hip, or toss it across the room if you want. When you equip a helmet, you put on or remove the same one you held in your hands, complete with fully realized interior. So this was something that I thought at least the hooking to your hip was going to be coming in 4.4. Apparently it's being moved to the next one. The physicalized interior is interesting. So those who played the game, I think 2017 and before, will remember that the helmets used to have, your vision used to be hemmed in by what helmet you were wearing. So if you were wearing a heavy helmet, it was almost like you were looking through a tunnel because all of the armor was blocking off your peripheral vision. Kind of cool. We might be moving back to that. New barrel attachments, implementing a host of new barrel attachments and scorched tweaker power levels, as well as a new tactical volt flashlight. That's kind of cool, because one of the disadvantages you have if you're rocking just clothing is you don't have a light. Now you can have a flashlight. I don't think people will be choosing to walk around in clothes rather than armor yet, but it's a step. Vulcan render improvements, increasing both the stability and speed of the Vulcan render with many crash fixes, diagnostic improvements, and multi-threaded render submission, while adding support for HDR in NVIDIA's DLSS transformer model. Also included is an overhaul to the graphics options, with many new settings and a VRAM bar to help players configure the graphics for their GPU. FPS AI improvements, implementing improvements to FPS combat AI for smarter decision-making, refined perception, more reliable reactions in combat. This includes better cover use, grenade targeting, friend or foe checks, group awareness, and animation sync support to make encounters feel more tactical and responsive. This is Squadron 42 tech coming to the PU. New hairstyles, adding 3 additional hairstyles and 1 new facial hair customization for your character. And we're going to look at that right now. And there it is. Oh, I'm so glad I looked at that's Jared right there. That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Everyone for 4.5 should make at least one character that is just 100% Jared and just troll him by going around the verse as Jared. Okay, let's take a look at the Perseus. Looks like they actually got a video. This is not a Q&A. I was lied to. So I would say behind the ships, just go in and look at this. Did the guns get bigger? Did it get better looking? Did the torpedo bay get freaking cooler? Spoiler alert, the answer is heck yeah, but you should watch just in case. Time to shoot some hoops and some big ass ships. So again, this is kind of one of my complaints that this year they have kind of, I wouldn't say exclusively, but we've gotten a lot more of these videos, which are basically just sales videos. They're cool to watch because you really do get to see a lot of the ship. But unfortunately, we've lost a lot of the, this is our plan on engineering, this is our plan on salvaging, this is our plan, these are what these guys are working on, this is what interactivity will look like, these are what org tools will look like. We don't get those vids this year. We've pretty much just been getting these. I think we had like one with Benoit that kind of fell into that territory, but yeah, I'm hoping that was just them rounding out Squadron 42 and trying to do this year of stability just meant that the devs just didn't have time to sit down with the community team. Anyway, gang, that's all I got for this one. Go ahead and download 4.4 and good luck in IAE, especially if you engage in those F5 wars. Bless your heart. And yeah, see me in the verse and catch you next time.